Hello everyone, in this video I will cover 15 best RPG PS4 games, but before we start this video make sure you press the subscribe button and hit the bell icon for more gaming videos. So without any further ado, let's start this video. The first game of this video is Kingdom Hearts 3. It's an action role-playing game developed and published by Square Enix, released in 2019. Kingdom Hearts is a crossover of Final Fantasy and Walt Disney characters, and players can explore large worlds whilst experiencing super showy gameplay. The game received positive reviews upon release and sold over 5 million copies in its first week. Next up we have Final Fantasy XV. This is an action role-playing game that was released on the PlayStation 4 by Square Enix in 2016. Final Fantasy XV is set in an open-world environment and features an action-based battle system where players can use quick-switching weapons, elemental magic, vehicle travel and camping. The game received praise for its visuals, gameplay and emotional content, and sold over 8.9 million copies worldwide by October 2019. Next up we have NieR 2. NieR 2 was developed by Team Ninja and released on the PlayStation 4 on March 13, 2020. This action role-playing game is the prequel to NieR and was published by Koei Tecmo and Sony Interactive Entertainment. Players get to create their own character, use a variety of weapons and work their way through the game, earning new skills as they go. NieR 2 received positive reviews and was the best-selling game in its first week of release in the UK. Next up we have Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is an action role-playing game developed by Ubisoft Quebec and published by Ubisoft. The game is set in the year 431 BCE and follows the history of the Peloponnesian War between Athens and Sparta. Players get to choose either a male or female mercenary that has to fight for both sides in order to unite their family. The game was released worldwide in October 2018 and received genuinely positive reviews. Next up we have Dragon Age Inquisition. The game was developed by BioWare and published by Electronic Arts. It follows a playable character that is on a journey to sort out the civil unrest in the continent of Thetis, whilst also closing a mysterious tier in the sky called the Breach. Dragon Age Inquisition was released worldwide in November 2014 and won over 150 year-end accolades, including Game of the Year. Next up we have The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Special Edition. It was developed by Bethesda Studios and published by Bethesda Softworks in 2011. The game follows a playable character that is sent on a quest to destroy Alliodin the World Eater, a dragon that has been foreseen to destroy the world as we know it. Once the game was released, it received critical acclaim and is now considered to be one of the greatest video games of all time. Next up we have NieR Automata. NieR Automata is a 2017 action role-playing video game that was developed by Platinum Games and published by Square Enix. Being the sequel to NieR, which was released in 2010, the story follows the struggles of a combat android, her companion and a fugitive prototype as they try to survive during a proxy war between alien-created machines and human-crafted androids. The game surpassed initial sales expectations, selling over 4.5 million copies worldwide within 3 years. Next up we have Odin's Sphere Leifthrasir. The game was developed by Vanillaware and published by Atlas. It's a remake of the 2008 game Odin Sphere and contains a large number of changes and upgrades. These include additional stages between battles and explorations, defense and dodge actions, and some new additional enemies and sub-bosses, as well as a number of other things. Leifthrasir reached the top of the sales charts and became the 15th best reviewed title of 2016. Next up we have Fallout 4. It was developed by Bethesda Game Studios and published by Bethesda Softworks in November 2015. It's the fourth main title in the Fallout series and is set in an open-world post-apocalyptic environment in the city of Boston and surrounding areas, known as the Commonwealth. Players assume control of the sole survivor and follow him on his quest to locate his kidnapped child. Fallout 4 was a critical and commercial success, generating approximately $750 million within the first 24 hours of release. Next up we have Divinity Original Sin 2 Definitive Edition. This game was developed and published by Larian Studios and is the sequel to 2014's Divinity Original Sin. The game was released in 2017 for the PlayStation 4 and is set in a fantasy world called Rivellon. Players are able to create their own character with a backstory and work their way through the campaign, as well as competing in online multiplayer battles. Divinity Original Sin 2 received critical acclaim and sold of 700,000 copies within a month of release. Next up we have Borderlands 2. Borderlands 2 is an RPG originally for the PS3 that was developed by Gearbox Software and published by 2K Games. It was re-released for the PS4 within the Borderlands Handsome collection. The game allows players to complete several quests within a campaign and optional side missions as one of 4 treasure seekers or vault hunters as they're known in the game. Borderlands 2 was a critical and commercial success, selling over 13 million copies to date and becoming 2K's best-selling title. Next up we have Kingdom Hearts 2. Released in 2005, Kingdom Hearts 2 is an action role-playing game developed and published by Square Enix. It's the sequel to Kingdom Hearts and follows the same design and gameplay, but includes some additional features and characters. Within a few weeks of release, Kingdom Hearts 2 sold over 1 million copies worldwide and won several industry awards. Kingdom Hearts 2 is cited as being one of the greatest video games of all time. Next up we have Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen is an expanded version of the original game, Dragon's Dogma. It was developed and published by Capcom and features additional content like an extra dungeon, new weapons and armor, and full Japanese voice acting. The game was released worldwide in 2013 and received positive praise from critics overall. Next up we have Yakuza Kiwami 2. The game was developed using the Dragon game engine and released worldwide for PlayStation 4 on August 28, 2018. It's set in an open-world environment and played from a third-person perspective. Players control a playable character as they explore the fictional Japanese districts Kamurocho, Tokyo and Santonbori, Osaka. Yakuza Kiwami 2 was the best-selling game in Japan in its opening week and was nominated for a number of industry awards. Next up we have The Outer Worlds. The Outer Worlds is a PS4 RPG developed by Obsidian Entertainment and published by Private Division. The game is played in a first-person perspective and set in an alternate future that diverged in 1901, and players get to create their own characters in order to try and colonize space and alien planets. The Outer Worlds has sold over 2 million copies to date and won the Best Original Game Award at the Game Critics Awards in 2019. Next up we have Final Fantasy Ziv Online Air Realm Reborn. The game was developed and published by Square Enix and was released worldwide in 2013. It takes place in the fictional land of Eorzea, and players must escape world devastation by time traveling to the future, only to return and stop the next threat of invasion. Critics praised the game for its progression and mechanics, and it managed to accumulate over 18 million players by 2019. The last game of this video is Horizon Zero Dawn. It follows a hunter who's on a quest to uncover her past in a world overrun by machines. Players are equipped with a number of ranged weapons, stealth and a spear to defend themselves against mechanical creatures and other rebel forces. Horizon Zero Dawn was praised by critics for its open-world design, story, visuals and characterization, and sold over 10 million copies worldwide by February 2019. So that's it guys, thanks for watching this video, subscribe to your channel Games Down and press the bell icon for more gaming videos.